It's another beautiful Monday on Your View, the eve of June 12th.
Wow.
I am Mariah Afolabi Brown as always. I have my lovely co-host. Hi, ladies.
Good morning.
Happy June 12th Eve.
And happy
Seriously?
anniversary to me, wedding anniversary
Oh, happy wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm so excited.
How many years now?
7 years.
Wow.
7 years, yes, beautiful. My husband is I just need to shout out to him. You're a very supportive husband.
Aww.
Thank you very much for your support, your teaching. You know how when you're getting married, they say he's your brother, your father. In this case, yes,
he's really your father.
He's a
We
teacher.
know he's your father.
He's a
He's
teacher.
definitely
He's a
your
teacher.
father.
No, he's not my father. Please.
We actually
Yeah,
I
that
said on the
sounds
show
a
before
bit-
now that
He's
stole
much
the cradle.
older than me.
He stole the cradle,
but
yes.
No, he did not steal any cradle.
Listen.
I was not 12.
Celebrate our husband.
Thank you. Celebrate my anniversary. Thank you. Thank
Hi,
you.
Topsy, how are you?
I'm very good. Yeah, let me to celebrate Mr. Mark. He tried. Also, last week I've been a bit under the weather, and I was doing what I say we shouldn't do, which is self-prescription, self-diagnosis, and all that. So
Self-medication.
Self-medication and everything. I was just saying, my body, they do me one kind. Let me try. My body, it just screams like, can you please just go get a test done? So apparently I had food poison, and I've never had it before.
Poisoning,
So
okay.
I had no idea. I don't know. I went for parties and I ate everything eatable. So apparently somewhere in the mix, something
How are
did
you
not
feeling
work.
right now?
Yeah, I've been better and I'll be better.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's where we are. But Lagos State's governor on Friday evening, I was late to the show on Friday morning, and I complained that there was major traffic under the K2 bridge. Then Friday evening, I saw the governor passing and they had to block the road for him to pass. And in my mind, I was like, the road is still bad. Governor, you will pass through this bad road that we all go through. But this morning, it was fixed. So thank you, Governor Ambode, for fixing the K2 road. We hope you continue
Okay.
to drive around Lagos.
Very
and see
good.
the bad roads and
Fantastic.
fix it.
How you doing, Jumzo?
I'm amazing.
How was your weekend?
Well, I don't know if Governor Ambode passed inside my estate, because I went out in the morning on Saturday. Bad
And it was
road.
fixed.
When I was coming in the evening, the road was fixed. So thank you, Governor Ambode. Although I'm an escort of the estate, so I've been on their neck for a very long time. And they said that they were going to eventually come and fix it. So thank you for fixing our estate roads. Something happened this morning as I was driving. There was a TVC vehicle driving in front of me. We waved at each other. And then right after they passed, last man just stopped me. I was wondering, please let me just say quickly, my 4 tires are brand new. I have spare tire. I have fire extinguisher. My papers are complete. Everything is complete.
Right.
So don't think this was a privilege. Immediately I just wound down. The guy just saw me. Just said,
Okay. You're the last person I want to have Monday morning. Please don't spoil my week. Don't spoil my week. So talking about ESCO, I got drafted into the Women of Honor group in my church. That's the group for women, married women. So I'm officially a married woman, recognized in church.
praise God, praise the Lord.
Hallelujah. So we had our
So you're a
convention over the
Christian
weekend.
mother
No, I'm not a Christian mother, but I am with them. I was having meetings. So we had our convention over the weekend. It was nice. You know, you always assume that there's a bunch of women just talking. And, you know, when I now got in the mix, they're actually nice, decent
They were actually
people.
fun to hang around
Yeah,
on
thanks.
Saturday.
Jumoke came on, was it Friday? It was Friday.
Was it Friday?
It was Friday.
Okay,
He
it was
came to hang
Friday.
out with us at the Ivy Health Club on
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah.
We went there, and Saturday we had the convention, so I was there. I anchored the conversation moderating. I do that very well. So it was really nice. We talked about present but not being available. So we're going to discuss that. I think it's a topic to talk about on Thursday.
Yeah.
Because where your husband is there, but he's not
there.
available. All of you are on your mobile phones, social media, everybody's doing so many things.
That
And even
women
with
need to gather
parenting.
together.
Yeah.
Parenting and children are there, but they're not present. They're not available. So it's a really big topic, and I think we should really talk about something.
I like your dress. Very nice.
And I was going to say about you too. You look really beautiful today.
I don't understand the dress, so let's not even go to the dress.
Neither do I understand my own. But thank you for the compliment.
Different akpa. I was like,
Creativity,
this is my work.
Brian.
Please,
help me
Creativity
understand this
happens
lady, you know?
in different ways.
It is well.
But you're
I
beautiful.
didn't buy the dress, so just in case you have an issue. with
You
it.
both look really beautiful. You're very
Let's go
stylish
on a
outfit.
break, ladies. It's Monday. Let's get serious. Please wear your serious face.
Sure, good.
We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the punch this morning. 2019 Southern Middle Belt leaders demand INEC chairman's removal. Picture here of the Mokwa Jeba Road in Niger State. Collapsed after the rainfall. Fayemi challenges Fayoshe to open debate on Ekiti finances. Nurse remanded in prison for alleged murder of Senator Adeleke. AGF threatens to sanction MDA's rejecting Treasury officers. Elites conspire to annul MKO's election, says presidency. States raise domestic debt by 1.64 trillion in 3 years. Reggae artist Raskimono dies at 60. APC convention, over 179 jostle for 43 National Working Committee positions. All right, so which story are we taking?
Just a quick question before
Yes.
we go into all the stories. When Fayemi is asking for a debate, shouldn't it be with the person competing with him?
Yes, so that's what he's saying. That he was challenging Fayoshe, saying because he was accused, he was being accused that you collected loans, 25 billion, 30 billion loans, and you're going to put us in debt for 20 years. And he was not responding. That, listen, I gave an 800-page letter, handover letter to Fayoshe when he came in. Let us discuss and see what he did and see how we both manage the finances of the state. That was pretty much what that conversation was about. Who has the Adeleke story or any other story?
Yes, I have the Adeleke story. So we've been following the story of how Adeleke died.
Sorry, let me just stop you. Raskimono, I think we should just acknowledge that Raskimono has passed on.
Right.
You know, his soul rest in peace. Yeah.
Right.
It was on our show last year. So
Last year, November.
Upper year.
September 1st.
December 1st was on show.
2016.
He was 60.
He was 60 and he passed on over.
Did they say he was ill or something?
Yeah,
Yes,
they said he wasn't feeling a little, was a little under the weather.
Right.
They took him, but then he had to be moved to the ICU.
Right.
And then he passed away.
Let's take Adeleke very quickly, Tope.
All right, so Adeleke, the nurse that administered the drug to Adeleke has been remanded. The reason being that, confirmed now, he didn't die of poison, he died of drug overdose. Right. So the nurse is being culpable in this and he's been remanded. He's asked for bail and he wasn't given. They also mentioned the fact that
But you see, the thing is, okay, if it was a regular person, would this happen?
But we need to start prosecuting cases like this, because if we don't, when the doctors realize that my job is on the line, I might end up in prison for any mistake that happens under my watch, there might be a problem. We would guard against this. I feel bad for the nurse, but the nurse administered drugs without proper...
Let's move on to the nation. Tinubu, let's fight poverty to immortalize MK Abiola. Picture here of the family. The wives, at least third and fourth wife, and the children, everybody here. We must take the fulfillment of the date as a dream that has come from a man of military background who is now truly committed to democracy values. See how many governments we've had since 1993 to date, and nobody saw it fit to do what is right. The Lord bless President Buhari for this singular honor. Nigerians mourn reggae star Raskimono. Punch chair Aboderin for burial on Friday. And FG plans to frame me up, alleges Wiki.
Yes, I have the Wiki story. Yes, so he, on Sunday, during a Thanksgiving service, he says that the federal government is planning to frame him. That the federal government has got in contact with a Lebanese who claims that Wiki was paid him money for arms. And he says, I don't know any Lebanese. Please.
How do they always get this leak? Melaye got a leak. Saraki got a leak. Wike got a leak, and it's always true.
Obasanjo also got a leak.
So how come? What is our police? Please, IGP, speak for yourself and your people. But everything every investigation within the police gets leaked out to the people they are being investigated, and they will come out and say they are about to frame me.
No, but
they will ask you questions like, do you know a Lebanese? You would know. And you're not going to they want to frame you. So there's no way to call it.
No, but Wike about to frame.
Yes, but Wike is the state governor, and that makes you the commander. You're in charge of the police in your state, right? Yes, of your state. So I guess when investigations like that and your name is brought in, it's likely that you can find
to you.
Okay, moving on to Daily Sun. New PDP talks tough, says group will act if APC calls its bluff. Picture here of the woman who allegedly committed suicide, divers in search for a woman who plunged into the lagoon from 3rd Mainland Bridge. So they have back view of victims' alleged vehicle, a front view and back view. Kalu calls for Obasanjo's probe over Bakassi seeding. Woman parks SUV on 3rd Mainland Bridge, plunges into lagoon. 2019, Southern Middle Belt leaders demand INEC chair and IGP sack. FG still plotting to frame me, says Wiki. Okay, which stories are we taking here?
Okay, so let's take the major picture, the woman who plunged into the lagoon. I followed the story actually on social media yesterday. The lady who put out the picture of the vehicle said her father just sent her a video that a man. Later, she corrected it and said a woman. Later, they corrected it because somebody called the owner of the vehicle and found out that the man was alive. They found out that he parked his vehicle actually to stop the lady who jumped into the lagoon. But she didn't stop. Although the police went, they tried to...
Well, they said that they couldn't confirm the story because there were different versions, according to Lasema.
You see how even me, I'm having different versions.
Yeah, they're still waiting to see.
So we still don't know who it is. We don't know names.
We have not seen her body.
Very cool.
Yeah.
The owner of the car is not. We don't even know the person. He didn't even show up in the videos.
Somebody called the owner of the car and he said he was alive. He was just trying to stop the lady from jumping, but she still jumped.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully by tomorrow we'll get
maybe
the real,
they'll find a body.
Accurate report. Any other story? There was a story.
We want to take the new PDP
yes,
story.
you have that story.
Yeah, saying that if the federal government isn't, what's the word, touring to their own demands, you know, that they may eventually pull out of the APC. And I'm saying that, yeah, we know that we're in electioneering year and all of that, but the APC should just put their act together. We don't want all this media, the same things that happened in 2014. Let's not repeat it all over again. Let's be about security and the economy and the well-being of Nigerians and not this bickering back and forth.
Season anyway. So
and then maybe handle this behind the scenes and we'll talk about
front page of the papers. Moving on to Nigerian Tribune, Southern Middle Belt leaders warn over federal government's strong armed tactics. Urge FD to tolerate contrary views, deplore harassment of Danjuma and Mobasanjo, descended heavily on Inspector General, and asked for the INEC boss to be removed. June 12, why the elite are angry, says presidency. Auto accidents, family of 7 killed in Enugu, 3 die in Ibadan, in Niger. That's a car accident. APC appoints Bamidele as governor campaign DG. Osun 2018, Tinubu meets Aregbesola, APC chairman, Osun speaker. All right, I have the Southern Middle Belt are saying that they are not comfortable with the current chairman of INEC because they're saying that there's a bug of tribalism, sectionalism, and nepotism that they feel that it would actually play out in 2019 elections. So they'd rather him to be removed and have somebody who will be more objective, neutral.
And
they mentioned that since 1960, when we started having elections, that's our independence, that this is the first time any head of state or president is picking an electioneering chairman who is from his own ethnicity. That for balance and fairness, he should be from another ethnicity. And you can't tell us that there are no other competent people to head INEC.
We've seen our president consistently have issues trusting, he feels comfortable trusting his people that he's used to.
So how are we supposed to then trust him?
We should believe in his integrity.
Yes, because they also mentioned that they would like the IGP to be sacked because of, you know, he openly refused to take the president's order, and as of today, we still know, you know, there's no information that he's gone to Benue State. You know, he's refused to invite show up at Senate. So this is someone that...
Very quickly to Vanguard. June 12th, how military, the elites, judges conspired against Abiola, says presidency. Says money bags sponsored the annulment. At only Buhari can decide probe of culprits. Name the elites, Ayo Adebanjo says. Provide proof, says Falaye. Presidency is correct, says Kokori. Let's see, what other story here? We have federal government plans to frame. We talked about that already. So this major headline, how military the elites judge.
I have a different story in Vanguard, though, where the Minister of Transportation, Amechi, was saying that Governor Wike has failed the Rivers people. And he was saying, and I quote, under Wike's watch, killings and massacre of the people persist all over the state on a daily basis, saying that the governor has failed his people. And I just wondered, sir, you are a minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Have you seen what is happening every day in Benue, Zamfara, and Taraba?
Any government that cannot protect its people is an irresponsible government.
One quick question. I can see us having 3 public holidays in the next 2 weeks. We're having one tomorrow, one on Friday.
The one tomorrow is not federal. It's just the Southwest.
As a business owner, I'm just worried about those days off. Workers will be happy.
You'll be all right. Go and rest. Let's go on a break. When we come back, June 12 is the hottest topic in town. First, we're going to start with, are you a sophisticated moron?
Oh, God.
And later, we discuss more on June 12th. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So following the declaration of June 12th as Democracy Day in honor of late Chief MKO Abiola, some Nigerians have welcomed the development, while others are criticizing it. One of these criticisms was made by the chairman editorial board of Vanguard newspapers, Ocheru Menana, calling the Southwest sophisticated morons. Also, Kogi lawmaker Dino Melaye has faulted the award, saying that the president is breaching the Constitution by conferring the honor of Grand Commander of the Federation, GCFR, on the late MKO. According to him, he's no longer in Nigeria. In fact, he's dead. Now, joining us on the show is Comrade Ayodele Adewale, and also we have one of the late MKO's son, Abdulmumini Abiola. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. Good to have you. You can call us on 070-806-6801. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, so when I heard this news, my first comment on Facebook was, are the Yorubas going to take this bait? Do we know? Do we understand? Yes, we are all celebrating and we're excited about it. But is this some kind of a Greek gift that Jumoke used on last week Monday? And people are, yes, the dust has settled. It's the morning after. The dust has settled. We're happy. People are now bringing up issues, other issues that nobody's talking about. But we're talking about it now. So in your view, let me start with Honorable Comrade. In your view, these issues of Yorubas being sophisticated morons, are we being gullible as an ethnic group? Are we appreciating this gift, not seeing what's really ahead, in your view?
Well, firstly, I would say that statement is very distractive, and people shouldn't listen to it, because this is the first time I've read about Nigerian history, and I've seen Nigerian history, political history for that matter. This is the first time where all Nigerians will come together and vote for one man, regardless of tribe, regardless of interest or what have you. Abiola cut across all nationality groupings. If you look at the chieftaincy title he collected while he was alive, I don't think any other Nigerian have ever received as much chieftaincy title like Chief MKO Abiola. I don't think any other Nigerian have been that philanthropic like Abiola, that have touched a lot of lives directly and all of that. Even amongst the military, that even annulled his election, the majority of them wanted him to be president because they knew very well that he would have brought a lot of improvement to their professionalism and their jurisdiction. So it's just a distractive statement to distract us away from the essence of June 12th.
Okay, so I agree that it may be a distraction from what June 12th is, but some of us also think that coming 25 years after Hope 93 to declare June 12th as a public holiday may also be a distraction from the main issues happening around Nigeria today.
Thank you.
So when somebody says sophisticated morons, it may hit us, negatively. But I'd like to direct the question to you, Mumini. Do you feel like that your father is truly being honored with this declaration, or if they have not even mentioned him as president-elect, if they have not started telling us how they are going to pay all his, compensation and everything, they have not even started? What's your take?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you again for inviting me on your show. You see, I think we're like putting the cart before the horse. Okay. First of all, when I heard the news, it was significant for one thing. Justice does matter. Yeah. And they say justice delayed is justice denied. And I'm telling you, this sends a message that look, your vote will be counted, and who you vote for will be your leader. Now, it's important that we send that message. Okay. See. So, I do understand that it could be a distraction because this is 25 years in the past, and we've moved further into a darker place in our history. But what I'll say is, it has been addressed. Okay. What we now do is take some lessons from it. Okay. you know, all I just think is the Nigerian spirit has been rekindled, and now what you do with that energy is how you focus that energy is what is going to determine where we go. So when somebody says, oh, the Southwest, you know, they want to go back to status quo, where we look at ourselves as Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. We don't want to look at that anymore. We're united as Nigerians, and once we start looking at ourselves as brothers and sisters, no matter where we're from, the better we're going to be.
All right.
True. So I totally agree with your statement concerning seeing ourselves as one. But there are two schools of thoughts being addressed here. One, the school of thought that is saying that this is an entirely political move, and the other school of thought that is saying, can we take the message and not the messenger? And it applies to both scenarios. We can decide that the president used this as a political move, but we take the message of what is done and not focus on the messenger doing the move. Can we also apply that same scenario to Ochero Nana, who made a statement? Can we take his message and not the messenger? In saying that this man is dangling a carrot, a poisoned carrot in front of you, and you guys are jumping like it's a big deal. Should we take the message and leave the messenger?
It's a poisoned carrot? Is that fair?
You know what? It's not fair, because there are words that are being used here, and as you said, it's distracting from the message here. Greek gift. And I had to check what Greek gift means, which is a gift meant to trick someone or to cause harm. In what way does this trick anybody? In what way does this will this, you know, cause any harm? All I see across the nation is that people are finally happy. There's this relief and a feel-good feeling all around. Do you understand? You're saying, finally, justice has been served. And as you said, we always say justice delayed is justice denied, but probably it's not always the case.
But let me throw in this scenario. Hang on a second. Let me throw this scenario in. Somebody who is a non-Yoruba, I don't want to use a specific tribe, a non-Yoruba will say, listen, we all agree with the idealism in this June 12. We all agree that it was a free and fair election, and the person of Menkeu Abiola, we agree. However, we're saying there are pertinent issues right here in the country. And because of this, don't be sophisticated morons such that you're not seeing the issues. And 2019 say, oh, because we have June 12 now, we are going to all vote and all support.
Thank you,
Mariam. Everybody is celebrating and
celebrating. Back to, can we take the message
yes,
and leave the messenger of this way it was being said?
So let me throw it to you back to Comrade. Do you agree, not with the sophisticated moron phrase, but that the Yorubas may actually be almost seen as betraying other parts of the nation, saying that, listen, because we have Junta, we're fine, well, we're supporting 2019 all the way. Is that what do you think about that?
A few years ago, when President Goodluck Jonathan, when it seems as if some people were trying to prevent him from ascending the office of president after the demise of President Yar'Adua. Remember, it was the same Yoruba people that was led by Professor Wole Soyinka that started the agitation that he must be president and that he must follow the provision of the Constitution and all of that. So I would not want to talk along the line of nationality. We've had 5 successive administrations, military, interim, and democratic institutional president, who had the opportunity to have just mentioning that Abiola won the election.
Just identify with it.
If someone had stepped up, having the courage to do that, I think we should commend him. Okay. But June 12 is not about Abiola alone. June 12 is an embodiment of a lot of issues that had the solution inherent in it to solve, as it is confronting us contemporarily today.
Which is why some of us are calling it a Greek gift, and I will explain how it can. I will explain why it can harm. Because the Igbos are now saying, but on May 30, we were asking for Biafra Day. Look at the Yorubas, how they are jumping because of June 12. You make Biafra Day seem inconsequential. Why are you all jumping about June 12? They are also now saying, if you are honoring Abiola, what of Humphrey Nwosu, who conducted the elections in jeopardy of his own life?
Once again, we're polarizing the country on
that's why. Guess what?
June 12 is not about Yoruba.
So do you see why somebody would say it's a Greek gift? Because we have now left the real issues. We are now discussing. Everybody connected to Abiola is now coming out to say, somebody collected money. I saw a video yesterday of Al Mustafa saying, the people who were crying the loudest are the exact same people who entered on the day after he died to go and collect money and came out and said, Abiola is dead. We've moved on from that. Which is why we're bringing
on
it
this
back.
platform. When you hear all these kind of angles, what comes to your mind?
Okay, guys, like I said, I won't lie, I've been here since 2007, and I've seen the country go deeper and deeper into an abyss. And what I'm trying to tell you is, yes, you guys, all your worries are well-founded. We have to be vigilant. Democracy is not on a pot of gold. But I'm telling you, the June 12 and what it stood for was not an Abiola issue.
Yes.
And people bring it up, Abiola. The people who actually really sacrificed themselves, were the people out there. And my father knew that if he relinquished his vantage, what would he say to the families of these people? Yeah. It's important that we start to take, you keep the baby and you throw the bathwater out, right? The dirty bathwater. Yeah. So the idea really is, yes, we understand that there are many issues that we need to address. The only way we're going to address this is if we start to look at each other as brothers and sisters. When they say if two brothers walk into a room and they come out angry, they spoke the truth to each other. Yes, I love the aspect that people are coming in with different ideas, saying different things. We need to just move in one direction.
Let's go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll go deeper into this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, let me come to the issue of Baba Gana Kingibe. People are saying that he doesn't deserve this, that he actually abandoned the mandate. What's your view, sir, on this?
Well, from the point of law, he deserves it because it was a joint ticket and all of that. And from the point of other issues, I would want to talk about it right now. I will only say that if he had known, he should have stick on with that agitation and all of that. And perhaps by now, we should be fighting for, perhaps there will never be a May 29.
Do you think he's in trade?
If he has stuck on, if he has stuck on, there will never be a May 29. Right. We'll only have had what we're fighting for in Kogi State, wanting Faleke to be governor of Kogi and all of that.
Saraki from Ilorin. I'm not sure this is Senate president, but it says Saraki from Ilorin. Are you the Senate president? Oh, there are plenty Sarakis, Abi. It's a popular name. I didn't realize. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay, he's not the Senate president. Thanks for calling. Go ahead,
from Abuja.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I'm very happy to call you to these people this morning.
Okay.
The topic you are talking about is a very interesting one. You just need to commend the president, Mr. President, for this. We had about 5 governments that has gone after June 12. The consider this June 12. So the parents did a very good thing. You don't need to think negatively about it. You just think positive about it.
All right.
It's a good thing about it, then think about it.
Thank you very much, Saraki. Yes,
I try always to be objective, that's my personal philosophy. And I'm looking at this issue, I'm seeing the politics, but I'm trying hard to be objective, to understand that June 12 means more than MKO Abiola. June 12 means every Nigerian coming together. June 12 memory in my head was my mom walking back home from Ilasa, because there was no public transport. They walked all the way to mile 2 from Ilasa bus stop. That is June 12. It was everybody going on the street, some dying. That's June 12. Igbos died, Yorubas died, Hausa died. That's June 12. Feeling that this is our votes, this is what we want, and it didn't count. So June 12 is not a Southwest thing. Good. And I think we need to maintain that message in the mind of everybody watching. It's beyond us. However, June 12 being acknowledged and the honors and award and public holiday being given does not negate the issues of people dying in the north. It does not negate the crisis on ground. It doesn't mean that because we've now gotten public holiday and a day and honor given to someone we respect, we should forget that lives are being lost in Benue right now. Right. We mustn't ignore the issues because of this holiday and because of the honor.
Let me take this call from Yakub. Hi, good morning, Yakub. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Morayo. And then good morning to everybody in the studio because of the time, and especially good morning to Abiola's son in the studio. You see, Morayo, somebody like me that participated in that election in my village as a polling agent. Right. I followed the INEC official that particular day, counting the people one by one. I'm very happy today it's come and then Abiola is giving GCFR. You see, Morayo, I can see that Jumso, my friend, in the studio, mentioned Bradford the other time. See, the justice has been done here. Let me say ask justice. Until MK Abiola pronounced president-elect, I will be more happy. You know why? this President Muhammadu Buhari is already giving Biafran soldier. He paid their arrears. This is a justice. He's taking it one by one. It is not a Yoruba issue. Are you telling me only Fadakoba is a Yoruba? Those are the people that championed this thing. A lot of them are not Yorubas. And then they are championed this cause. And then today, we are happy that this thing has been done is a right thing. And then we are going to move from there. Thank you and God bless you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I want to come in. I really am happy that everyone is saying this is not, we cannot be dividing ourselves along ethnic lines. For me, do you know what is even more strong? You know when we say the national anthem, we say the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. Imagine your child asks you about this and you're talking about Democracy Day and then you tell them this story, how proud, you would feel and your child would feel, to associate. So that is what I see June 12th, is the recognition of the struggle and justice has finally been served.
Let us go to the issue of what that Melaye raised. I'll come to you concerning that. Listen.
That was hilarious though.
No, tell me what? Message again.
Message,
okay. And the issue of the fact that let's legalize, let's do this thing the proper way. He, first of all, released the results of the INEC, the election 1993. Let this man be declared president-elect, so that tomorrow and that government doesn't come in and say, oh, executive going back to May 29. We'll take that question. Let me just quickly take this call. Morning, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I am. Good morning, Morayo,
ladies,
and then the gentlemen in the studio.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, so we're here. You're live. Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Gerard. I'm calling from Abuja. Two things. Once again, I think the nation as a whole, no thanks to the media, is actually doing us a great disservice. Do you know why? It is actually the narrative of the opposition that is actually trying to dim a momentous time in history. The opposition are the ones who they cannot sleep because they think this will give President Buhari political capital and the media is running with it. Let me simply end by saying there is no wrong time to do something right. One. Number two, let me also say, show me any politician who does anything without, political capital in view, and I will show you a brand new Jesus Christ playing politics in 2018.
Nice one, Gerald. Thank you very much, Gerald. So that's an interesting view, but let me get your response to legalizing, doing this the proper way.
Well, it's unfortunate that Dino have taken that route. Dino was one of the people that actually fought for June 12. I remember when we were in school, Dino went to ABU Zaria. Whenever I go to Zaria, I sleep in his room, Sultan Bello. Whenever they come to Lagos, I take them to Lasu, the popular Amala joint. So when Dino took that position, I was put aback that what is going on? You were here in Lagos fighting for June 12. We were at Nan's Senate meeting discussing about June 12th.
He's not objecting to it. He's just saying that.
I said that route is totally wrong.
Okay.
It's totally wrong. How can you say the fact that Abiola is dead, is no longer a Nigerian? It's totally wrong. That statement is wrong. Okay. You understand? And I think he should apologize for that. You understand? But the key thing here is that June 12 has a lot of things surrounding it. It's about the people of Nigeria, it's about the problems in Nigeria, and it's about the solution for solving that problem. Right. And the solution, as pivoted by Abiola, Abiola was the key. Right. There's a lot of people holding on to that key. It's a structural thing.
Yes, we know. Pastor Bakare implied it in some message that going around that until we do justice to MKO, a lot of things might not go right. Let me take some tweets and I'll come to you, Mara.
So Olawale Ayodele says, there's a lot to June 12 that meets the eye. June 12 is far more than just giving GCFR to Abiola. Nigerians need to know much more. He also said the government woke up from nowhere to distract us with the MKO Abiola declaration after what they've just celebrated Democracy Day on the 29th. Right. PJ Comedian says PMB has been in the office since 2015. Why is it now that 2019 is around the corner that he's doing this? I beg, it's political.
Right.
Yes, I was just saying that this is a democracy, so people would air their views and their opinions, so it's important. And then some of the questions that they raise, even, we might think laughable, they're quite valid. Let these people ask these questions and then let's have the answer for them. It is important, really, that tomorrow someone doesn't come in, a government doesn't come and just throws this, act out of the window. So when he says, when he said, you know, Abiola is dead, so he's no longer a Nigerian, I just really wanted to know, you know, legally, is this right? Is this true? Of course, it is not, as we heard.
Well, first of all, I'm not a lawyer, so I really don't know. But what I would say is, like, well, so what message are we sending to our soldiers in the front lines? What message are we sending to the girls who are being kidnapped? Are we saying that once they die, they cease to exist? Though we remember them in our hearts and in our actions. So I do. Obviously, I respectively would just say I would agree to disagree with his point of view, and I would say that you're right. It is a democracy, and everybody should be able to air their views. So let's be open to listening to all views, no matter how. Destructive they may be, because
and it gives us the opportunity to correct some views.
I'd really love your view on how this would seem right to the family. That, okay, a president, regardless of where he's coming from, wants to honor your father. What would be the right actions to take exactly?
All right. Well, first of all, like, we have to understand that, you know, like, our democracy is still fragile. That's number one. And our institutions are not as strong as we would like them to be. This act was committed by a general. It's only right that it was amended by a general. Now, that being said, obviously, once this is done, the acknowledgement of Abiola's sacrifice, now we need to now have that discussion of how we want to move on. But like I said, this thing is more than June 12. It's about our present situation, security, the killings of herdsmen. You know, these issues are very important that we need to, and that will also be part of our fabric. And I think that's what is moving.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the closing end of this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, as this announcement has happened, lots of things are being dug up. History. People are talking about MKO, his person, what he stood for, how he supported the military,
the people who betrayed him.
Who betrayed. You know, there are angles coming out that might almost water down the person of MKO Abiola. Not because June 12, there are two different things. June 12, we understand the idealism behind it. But the person, his character, in your view, when these things start coming up, not that they're bad in itself, but do you think it will water down the entire essence, the significance of MKO Abiola in itself?
No. See, like I said, like, you know, there's always two sides to a coin. So for me, I really believe that whatever is said, you know, it's basically what he did with his hands. So you know, what we want to do here is we want to have conversations centered around our future. My father was a nationalist. He really believed in the Nigerian people as the most important asset we had. You know, the oil was a secondary thing. He knew that the Nigerian spirit, you see it when we go to the United States, you see it in all parts of the world where Nigerian people are leading in different ways. So.
Yes, Tope.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, taking it personal, everybody sees June 12 from the outside, like this is what happened, but you felt June 12. You lost your father, you lost your mother, and then you had to be exiled from the country. How did that affect who you are today? What was the impact personally on your life growing up?
Oh, well, first of all, my mom, may Allah rest her soul, and my father as well. My mom was very strict. You know, she's from Ijebu-Ode. And, you know, like, apparently they were very, like, so we had, so she always used to let me know that, you know, yeah, just because everything is okay here doesn't mean that it's like that outside. And she always try to put yourself in other people's shoes. So when it happened, and obviously in the beginning I was rebelling, you know, used to get into trouble a lot. But then I started to, you know, over the years I started to think, you know, that, okay, look, I got my mom for 7 years, but there are other people who never even knew their moms. And then and then when I even also heard my father's story, how he grew up, and then I looked at my life, you know, yeah, we were 7 of us in a 1-bedroom apartment in Virginia, but I said, it's still better than picking up wood and selling and stuff like that.
You know, I was telling you during the break that I grew up with you, your family, in that mix. So I was there with your family. Yeah. And I remember going to your house. I mean, his mother never used to put tomato in their stew. It was call Pepe. Like,
you
say Pepe.
You know,
she was teaching them lessons.
When I eat in your house, it's pure, and I'm wondering, what the heck is this? She was really strict. And I remember the day she was killed. I was in their house at the time, and you guys were packing your bags. Mariam, Adi, you, I think Auntie Kafi and Hafsat were already in the US. So just the three of you left, you know, and everybody was just gathering around you, making sure you're okay. I was in Mariam's room then, because both of us were similar ages. Yeah. She was really crying, shipping them to the airport. So that entire picture is in my head, you know. So I understand what Shoko was saying, that the people don't see that side, how it affected you guys, how it totally disrupted your entire life.
But now, what's next?
Right. Before we go into what next, let me take this call, then I'll come to what next. Morning, are you there?
Hello?
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. Best thing I want to say is that politicians are political. So no one does anything, not least a politician, without records to perception of the public.
Right.
Every Nigerian agrees that June 12 was a watershed in the epoch of this nation. And many of us also agree that it's more fitting for it to be regarded as Democracy Day than May 29. So that's the Nigerian field, government field, and refuse to acknowledge the sacrificial lambs that paved the way for the entrenchment of democratic ethos in this climate.
Right. All right. Thank you very much, Oyetola.
So, Oyetola mentioned that politicians are political. And the Yorubas, we are not sophisticated morons. We may be educated, sophisticated people who are calculative in what we do. So let us take,
for them,
I'm speaking for them.
Speak for yourself.
That we will take this first, because regardless who the person is, what they've done is the right thing. So let's just applaud it first. But next step, is this all that we're requiring of the current president? The next elections, what are we expecting to happen? People have an issue with the INEC chairman being from his tribe. People have an issue with him not even talking about the killings all over the country, be them Fulani or whatever, the headsmen. So what's next? What's the way forward after declaring June 12 a public holiday?
The next step is to see a repeat of June 12. A repeat of June 12 in the next election. I believe that when you're doing well, your people would sacrifice themselves for you and make sure that you continue to be there to do well. People have freedom of speech, but in that freedom, there's limitation. Yes. Because by the time you start to erode on other people's freedoms, it becomes something else. So for the government in power, I would appeal to them not to be distracted, especially in doing good things. They must make sure that the killer headsmen are put to stop. They must employ more technologies into securing our people. They must invest massively, and that's what Abiola was to bring, massively in education. And that is why the Nigerian students stood vehemently behind him. And I must thank her father, Akala Obasharon. The man fought very well, did very well, and her elder brother, Shegun. Shegun also did very well, especially in New York. He was leading a lot of protests in New York and all whatnot. And not to forget Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Asiwaju sponsored a lot of June 12 programs, especially in the diaspora, Radio Kudirat and all of these things. So we must
And it was only late, we must acknowledge Governor Ambody also. It was only him that acknowledged Gani Fawehinmi and MK Abiola. These are these big monumental statues.
Yes,
so even before this whole thing happened. So obviously in this part of the country,
and from day one,
always acknowledged
June 12 as being a public holiday in Lagos State.
So we must acknowledge Lagos State.
I'm sure when Governor Aregbesola came in.
When he got in.
Yeah,
but from day one.
He did very well, even during the June 12 era. Senator Afikuyomi was beating blue-black. This guy suffered too much. So and Papa Okpadokun, Admiral Ndubusu Kanu, Alfred Iwani was killed.
It was not
many
about
of them.
Southwest. It was about Nigeria, and it must remain that way.
And we must applaud Humphrey Nwosu, who stood
as
NINEC chairman of that time. And he ran out on exile, rather than change it.
Let's take a few tweets so we can round up.
Eat, Pray, Work says, June 12 cuts across the entire Nigeria. Like your caller said, there is never a wrong time to do the right thing. Maybe for the purpose of dialogue, that's why you're bringing the different angles. June June 12 is different from May 30 completely, and I am Igbo. That's the person that made that tweet. Olawale Ayodele says, the only thing that will make me celebrate APC/Buhari's move is if it will make the world know what actually happened. Vino Pepe says, please, what time... Okay, sorry.
Frances from Denedo says, let's not distract from the real issues. Politicians will latch on anything to score cheap political goals. June 12 is about Nigeria and Nigerians. It's not about tribes. MKO took the fall for all of us, and we bless his soul for his sacrifice.
So we need to round about, let Momoni have the last word, because even during the break, he said something about when June 12 was taken forward, they took the power away from the people. By Buhari's act, not so much about him as a person, but the act of recognizing June 12 in itself is giving the power back to the people. In the closing remark, tell us, what are your closing remarks?
First of all, I'd like to, once again, thank you guys for inviting me. And to your viewers, I'd like to express our total gratitude to all your responses, be it negative or positive. That's how democracy works. It's fluid, so it's like water. It's not solid. Thank you. And then one more thing, like for closing remarks, I would like to first of all thank the president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, my father. Thank the governor of Osun State, the governor of Lagos State, the governor of Ogun State. I said the governor of all the states in the country, because at the end of the day, the Nigeria is a project that involves all of us. Once we all believe in it, I believe that this will be the best country in the whole world.
Amen.
Matter of fact, you guys, man, you should be looking forward to some good things happening. I'm very hopeful and optimistic about the future.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
Comrade, thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Still hopeful.
Tell them about the program tomorrow.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm sorry. We're having a party at the house. Please come.
Hey, June 12.
Number 42, MK Abiola Crescent. I'm going to raise the Nigerian flag and also the APC flag, just trying to create, foster some form of unity among all of us. I want us to believe in our...
contain us in that,
Yes, because the house is a mansion, It's massive. So please, come on.
Oh, wow.
Let's eat, let's dance Fuji.
Let's dance Fuji.
Party. So
now I'm feeling June 12.
There'll be real party across the country. All right, that's all we can take on the show. Hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did. Have a fabulous day. And don't forget, Wednesday, our live audience, please come one, come all. We're expecting you come early so you can get a seat. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.